I got a little dick. It's pathetic. And I don't score a lot. Jake, it took months. Quaritch, it took days. It took days.
That's so
I
true.
feel like... Oh, really? You don't want to fuck Varang? Clip it.
We're back with the first podcast of 2026. We're back on our ranking bullshit, aren't we?
We are.
No more Predator. Connected, though. There is the little explanation there. Well, it's the man that came up with the mandibles for the Predator. Also, kind of like sci-fi / action royalty / $1 billion box office royalty.
Yep.
Mr. Dewey C, Mr. James Cameron.
Dewey C. There we go.
What does James Cameron mean to you, Charles?
Oh, where do I start?
I mean, one of the greatest filmmakers to ever do it. One of the greatest technicians to ever do it. I mean, created some of my favourite films of all time, favourite genres of all time. One of the ballsiest directors of all time. Ballsiest directors of all time, for sure. Most horror, possibly. Yeah, also probably like one of the most intelligent filmmakers. And like people say what you want about the movies that he makes, but as a person, like he just seems to know so many different skills. And the more I read about him, I'm like, oh, we could do that as well. We can do this. Yeah, he like built a camera that went onto Mars and shit like that. Yeah, he's part of building Ocean Explorer. I mean, like Marlow Crosser, like all these random things he does. Like now Kickboxer. Yeah, amazing. And responsible for one of our favourite quotes. Was it fear? Failure is not. Fear is not. Yeah, failure is always an option, but fear is not.
So, Charlie,
Yes.
with that in mind, 9 films.
Yep.
We want to point out Piranha 2: The Spawning. We've not seen it. I know it is officially a James Cameron directed movie, but he was only on set for 10 days and then he was fired.
Yep.
The movie is considered a piece of shit. I've never seen it. I've tried to watch it before. It's really hard to find.
Yep.
So we're omitting it from the list.
It's true.
I think that's fair enough.
I agree. I have 2 little fun facts about the Piranha 2 this morning before we move on. Whilst doing research for the podcast, I found out that Sting was going to play Michael Bihn's character in The Terminator. But he said to James Cameron, "Oh, you're the director who did Piranha 2 this morning," and James Cameron was like, "Yeah," like begrudgingly, and he never heard back from Sting after that. So we got Michael Biehn instead. So that was one fun fact.
Well, I mean, Sting can't really talk because he did do the old David Lynch Dune. So
Yeah,
not a great movie.
I feel it's like just before,
You
pretty
know,
much.
yeah.
And I think, but obviously, James Cameron done nothing else other than that. So.
That must have hurt considering he got fired and he wasn't really on it. And it's like I've got to still say like, I made this movie.
Yeah. Also, it's the only movie since, or even in the whole of history, to feature flying piranhas.
Oh wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I feel like. Well, I was going to say the next movie I'm going to mention, but it's going to spoil. It's going to spoil the reveal.
Yeah.
But are you ready to reveal your 9th? In the same customary way we did with the Predator ranking, should we 3, 2, 1 and then do it at the same time?
Yeah. Let me just double check. Let me double check.
Double check the ranking.
I got my phone.
Got to lock it in.
We got it all ready today. I got like notepads here. I got letterboxes on my phone to see my ranking. You know, I've got it already. Okay.
All right.
I'm ready to go.
3, 2, 1.
Avatar.
We are in.
Start. We are hot and ready. And guess what? This is going to be great because that means you're not going to like where I've put The Abyss, my man. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
God. Oh my god. I didn't realise you've already moved to the home. Grandpa's getting his sleepy pills in the form of movie. Celluloid sleepy pills. Wow. You know what? I really thought you were going to feel the same as me about The Abyss.
That's so funny.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah.
Really surprised.
Yeah.
Just to summarise, the Flying Piranha point.
Yeah.
Full spoilers for every single movie we're going to go over, by the way. I feel like he kind of meets flying piranhas at the end. Like they're kind of in these weird, I guess they're kind of like manta rays.
They're like manta rays,
yeah. I have avoided this movie for so long, in spite of loving James Cameron. It was the only James Cameron I'd left to watch, other than when every new successive Avatar comes out.
Yeah.
And I knew that the aliens were good, and I was kind of always like, what's the conflict? It's not really clear just from seeing clips and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of was interested to see it still, but I knew that James Cameron only agreed to make the film so that he could play around with his underwater toys, which doesn't bode well. And then I finally watched it, and I thought there was some interesting character stuff here and there. It still is lit really well, like a James Cameron movie. There's a nice mood to it. But ultimately, I just feel like there's not really any tension. I don't really care for the aliens. And I actually feel like it made me realise that there's two spheres of Cameron. There's the kind of like aliens and the unknown and the otherworldly is horror. And then there's like the otherworldly and the extraterrestrial is like, in touch with nature and like a way for us to connect to our other self, our higher power. And I feel like weirdly, even taking out of context like all the developments of water that he would like use for Titanic and then like Avatar, I feel like this film is more of a spiritual predecessor to Avatar than any of his other films. I feel like this has a lot of the stuff in it that I find a bit grating about Avatar. Like, oh, let's go, be hippies with the aliens. I just feel like, not that that's inherently a bad idea, but I just feel like when James Cameron does it sometimes, it's pretty boring. It's not really what I love about him. And, I can't lie, I really struggled with this one, especially by the end. I was like, it's fine, but I was kind of happy it was over. And I did think at one point in the movie, I'm never gonna watch this again, like willingly.
Yeah.
Do you want to like rebuttal on the Abyss, or do you want to talk about Avatar? I feel like maybe you say why Avatar is lowest.
Yeah. One thing I will agree with what you've just said is that I actually would go even further with The Abyss and say that I actually think that it's the everything James Cameron movie, in that I think it has touch points of everything James Cameron's ever done all in one movie. Right. For times I think for good and for other times for worse. And I would agree with you. I think it does touch into the Avatar.
They're Na'vis at the end, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's very
Na'vi. Yeah. I feel like literally everything in that movie I kept watching, being like, oh, this is the prototype for Titanic. This is the prototype for Avatar. Here's a little bit of like aliens. Here's a little bit of like all these little things.
The militaristic stuff.
I don't know how far to go in on like how much I liked it until
I'm shocked you did really like it that much.
Like it. Yeah. I think it's very interesting. All I will say is I'm shocked that you believe there was no tension, because I particularly the first half was pretty spectacular.
Interesting. Yeah. I think there's one particular sequence when it floods that's pretty spectacular. I think the effects were cool. I think the problem for me is like I just think the conflict's really weak. I think Michael Bihn's a weak like antagonistic force, and then he kind of drops out of the movie, he gets killed, and then it's kind of just like, obviously like the threat of drowning and that is it become. I feel like it's the closest like a James Cameron disaster movie, which should sound more awesome than it is to me. Two things I did really like that I want to point out. I really like the door closing on Ed Harris, him getting saved by his wedding ring.
Yeah,
great thematic,
phenomenal
highlight with the whole ex-wife thing, and also I really love the shot where Michael Biehn is landing. It's like military boots, high heels, and then all the guys watching are like, oh no, that's Ed Harris's ex-wife. Like that was like the real threat.
Yeah.
Great bit of cinematography there.
Yeah,
there's it's still Cameron.
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't love this one. Interestingly as well, did you know that it was like plagued with loads of problems on production because of like the nature of filming underwater?
I did, in fact.
Ed Harris compared it to. He said, never talk to me about it because working on that film is like doing a tour in Vietnam. My first thought is classic actor. Dramatic actor. Like, it was like being in Vietnam. Really, getting paid to like pretend to be someone else. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But did you know James Cameron almost died?
I knew that a few people nearly did, but I didn't know that. No, I didn't.
Well, apparently the AD didn't notify him that he needed to refill his tank while he was underwater, and I think the DOP who he was with, or someone on set he was with, was deaf in one ear, so couldn't tell that he was like signaling like he needed to go up. So he frantically went to the surface because he couldn't refill his tank, and he had to like breathe out so that he didn't decompress his lungs. And then one of the divers on set saw him, thought he was having a panic attack rather than running out of air, and bear hugged him and stopped him from going up. So if he hadn't done something, he would have like basically suffocated him, like drowned him. Yeah. And the way James Cameron got out was he punched the diver in the face and he swam to the top.
No,
and then
the
apparently both the AD and that diver were fired that same day.
No
Yeah.
way.
So the whole thing was apparently.
Yeah, I did know that it was a I mean, to be fair, whilst I was watching it, I was constantly like, I have no fucking idea how this was made.
Yes.
Like, I was like, this is... I think the effects in that movie, by like 1 or 2 shots, hold up to this day. Like, are phenomenal.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
phenomenal. The miniatures,
yeah.
just every. I was gonna save it till I get to it, but I actually think that it might be one of the best looking James Cameron movies. Just from a cinematography point of view, I was quite shocked how gorgeous it was. I think it comes down to a lot of like
Yeah.
sets and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, that's mad that he died. That's mad.
Avatar.
Avatar. Okay.
Bottom. I am shocked.
I'm shocked
this-
with
this-
Abyss being
this is gonna
below
be
it.
spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah. I was going through, so like the 3 Avatar movies for me are kind of just improved versions on the past one for me, which kind of gives you a little hint on how they are. I feel like I feel like James Cameron made the same movie 3 times pretty much with these movies, bar like a couple of character moments, but in terms of the structure, they literally have the exact same plot almost to a T in all 3 of them. I was
that's interesting.
I was umming and ahhing with where these 3 go, because I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to die on my sword of the rankings of these 3 movies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going off of pure joy experience, and maybe, you know, it's hard for me to talk about my rankings until I've revealed my other 2 of my feelings. But I like Avatar movie. I thought it was a fun experience. I enjoyed it at the time in 2009. I never really fancied rewatching this film. I think the effects are cool. I think personally, the other 2 that he does are just slightly better, have slightly better moments for me. Whether that's just a case of the times, he's had more time to think about it.
Yeah.
Don't dislike the movie, enjoy them, but yeah, there's a lot better James Cameron movies for me than Avatar. I don't ever have much to say. But yeah.
It's weird because I feel like they're the inverse of kind of the staple things that we came to love about James Cameron, like the Terminator series and like his stint in Alien.
Yeah.
With Aliens, is that I like when he tackles these like dense, lore-rich, dark universes where being a human being is such a cult disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded by all these like more deadly, more malevolent creatures.
Yeah.
Whereas Avatar, it is, what I was saying about the Abyss earlier. It's more like, the humans are the enemy, and it's actually all about getting in touch with nature and being at one and with yourself. And I don't mind all that stuff, but I do think it's the reason why Avatar is so popular is because it is purposely like lore light. Like, there's no real. I can't imagine sitting on Reddit all day reading like theories on like in the same way I would like Aliens and Terminator and like different time travel theories and like what different kinds of Terminators are and what they do and like what would happen if this had happened. Like, there's none of that kind of stuff even 3 movies in.
But I think that also comes down to the fact that like when Avatar came out, people got depressed because they wanted to live in that world, and I think that's that's a cool thing that James Cameron's created that. But at the same time, I think for a movie to be interesting, in my opinion, it needs to have like great conflict. And I think the fact that a lot of people sitting there, including myself at times, being like, "This is beautiful. I wish we could live in a world like that." I think kind of says a lot about why I don't find these movies particularly interesting. Like, I get the the conflict of the humans coming, but in terms of their world, it seems like everything's pretty perfect. Other than
Well, I don't mind the conflict in it. I actually think the conflict is why I prefer that to The Abyss.
Yeah.
But I just think it's so almost like purposely a hero's journey, very like light, understandable sci-fi.
Yeah.
Which is why it tops $1 billion every single time.
Yeah.
Or $2 billion in the case of the last 2 movies, and maybe this third movie will get to $2 billion as well. But it's like it's kind of like I feel like it's sci-fi for people that don't really like sci-fi. I don't mean that as derogative, but it's just like it's not dense.
It leans more fantasy for me in terms of.
But it's light fantasy.
Yes, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like Lord of the Rings.
That's true. Yeah,
it's not like you know, there's no Elvish language to learn. Like, you know, like, do people learn
well,
Na'vi?
they're Na'vi, yeah, but
it's
you
not,
know,
there's no culture
cares
of
them,
like
yeah.
the fandom of it in the same way. You know,
I think a big part of that is as well, and probably another reason where I'm not as interested in it is like I don't actually find the designs of the Na'vi particularly that interesting. Like they're just big.
oh really? You don't want to fuck Varang?
Beep.
Clip it. I know you're right.
Can't even say the name. Can't even say the name.
My god, Varang.
I mean,
Varang.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
the Na'vis. Yeah,
they're sexy.
hot,
They're
they're
sexy.
hot.
I don't mind. I feel like maybe we've gotten used to them over 3 movies. I think they're kind of cool.
I don't. No, I know what you mean. I
Cat
just
people.
Yeah, every time I walk out of an Avatar film, I'm like, that was a fun experience, but I just never feel captivated to watch them again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? I do kind of want to do them at least a second time, like after some time has passed.
Yeah, I'm more in awe of like the technical side of them. Like I find them fascinating. I love going to see them at the IMAX. There's the few movies that I actually got my way to see in 3D. I actually like the 3D, which and the IMAX experience.
Yeah.
I find it incredible, and I do think the performances are a lot stronger with the motion capture stuff they use than other CGI stuff that's been made. But yeah, it's funny. Like I'm sitting here trying to justify why it's in the position it's in, but for the same reason that I don't. It is where it is that I don't really have much to say about them. Because I think
they're all movies that I like.
Yeah.
And even The Abyss, I liked it. I just don't. There's a passion lacking that some of his other films that go to top this list. I'm like, whoa, let's go. Let's talk about this for now.
Yeah.
There's a key point you said that I really want to disagree with you on, but I feel like I should tackle it
to your point
when I talk about Avatar myself. But for the time being now, do you want to go to 8th place?
Let's do it.
All right.
Right. So 8th place. Do you want to go first or same time?
Should we do it at the same time?
Okay. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Way
Fire
of
and
Water.
Ash. Okay. So you're going with Avatar 2.
Yeah.
Above Avatar 1.
Yep.
And I'm going worst Avatar movie is the 3rd one.
Yeah. I think funny enough, I'm suspecting that we're gonna have our avatars in reverse in terms of our
Maybe.
rankings.
I mean, you never want to get your avatars in reverse.
Yeah.
God
True.
damn it.
You're true.
Terrible.
You're
Terrible.
true. Do you want to say Fire and Ash first?
Listen, I like Fire and Ash.
Yep.
I feel like I'm going to kind of lightly cover Way of Water in this as well. In that, when you said that it's the same movie 3 times.
Yep.
I feel like the first movie is a different movie to the 2 sequels. I feel like the first movie is a complete journey. Very kind of like well-trodden hero's journey of rebelling against the man. It's his Lost the Mohicans. That is that kind of like archetype, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I feel like it is a complete story. But what I most like about that first film is the struggle of identity with, got this paraplegic Marine given a chance to like use legs again in this other body, and the conflict of like what world to choose. Whereas I feel like the second and third movie, at least for Jake Sully, are not about that. Like once he leaves his human body behind, if you were just watching 2 or 3 in isolation, and I told you, he used to be like a human, I feel like, would you even like know?
No,
like, I know obviously like he has all over the conflict with the RDA, but like everything about 2 and 3 for me are just about him protecting his family with Materi, which is like I do think is like fairly compelling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind the kid characters. I think they're all various degrees of interesting. I think where they lose me a little bit is when they have scenes just with the teenagers and they're like call each other like butt sniffers and stuff. I don't need this. But I feel like 2 and 3 are more your point about remaking the same movie. And I feel like I just put 3 bottom because I think it starts off really well. And there are some threads I do find interesting. I think Quaritch in particular is the most interesting character of the sequels.
100%.
But I think it's because he has that conflict of identity that Jake Sully has in the first film. I feel like he's the only character really that perpetuates that theme in the sequels.
Yeah.
But I think his most interesting story is in 2. This one, I think, obviously Varang, interesting new character. The Fire Tribe are interesting in that they reject Awa because of the destruction that they had, a natural disaster. It's all interesting, but I feel like I almost did want more of that. For all the fanfare of Ram Varang, I thought she was like an interesting character, and I liked her story with Quaritch, but I feel like there wasn't actually as much of it as I expected. And once again, we're going all back to the Jake Sully this, Jake Sully that. I thought it was fun, but I do think by the time we get to the finale, I don't think it helped that I'd watched Way of Water just before. I do think the finale is the weakest part of the movie, and I think it's just such a flat retread of mainly Way of Water mixed in with a few bits of the first Avatar film when they're like in the air. I just don't think it did anything new in terms of Avatar finales. And also it ends on a note where I just feel like I know we're supposed to be getting 4 and 5, but I just feel like it didn't really wrap up anything in a satisfying manner. Like, Varang doesn't really get a satisfying conclusion. Quaritch literally jumps into the fire and is like, what's happening with him next? No, not a satisfying conclusion. I guess Jake kept the family together.
Yep.
You know, like Carmela Soprano dies, and that was really underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I don't know, I just feel like 2 is a better version of 3, which obviously spoils where I'm going to put 2. But
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right, so where do I start? There's a lot to roll. First thing I'll say is the third act of 3, I actually think is, I agree with you, it is the same third act as in 1, as in 2, but I think it combines all of them. And it is the best of the 3 because it is the best action scene for me out of in terms of the end, because it has a combination of all of those things. And yeah, there's repeats, but I'm getting all of it all at once. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. I do still think that 2 and 3 are similar to 1 in that, you know, it's about a person transforming from a human into a Na'vi, and then the humans are looking for some sort of material that they get from the planet, and then, you know, the humans are trying to destroy them. Someone gets kidnapped, so they have to try and get them, and then the creatures of the forest help them save the day. That's kind of the plot of all 3 of the movies.
Right, yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, there's some differences. I do agree with you that I do think probably Quaritch's most interesting thought process starts in the second one. But I think that by the third one, I really didn't think that they were going to go in the direction of like, oh, he ends up kind of being a bit of a hypocrite and kind of doing the thing he was...
Are you referring to... I love the TikTok edits I've seen.
Yeah.
Him going to Jake, oh, you know, you get a bit of the local tale you know you're playing for. Cut to Varang.
Yeah.
And as people have pointed out, Jake, it took months. Quaritch, it took days. It took days.
That's so true.
I feel like he was almost, when he says that line about local tale, he's telling on himself.
Yeah, exactly.
You switch sides after a couple of days local tale. In his head, he's saying it like it's negative, but really he's thinking,
Yeah, it's so true.
It's Pandora could work.
He's like, maybe he's onto something. He's like, it made him give up his whole life. So he's like, this guy must be onto something. But yeah,
Nash must
the Nash. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed him facing kind of the irony of his own kind of battling. I feel like a little bit with like what he's doing now, and kind of having that question to him by the end, where it's like, I was fighting for this team, and now they're after me, and now like, where am I sitting? What's going on? I thought that was kind of an interesting way for him to go. But yeah, I they're all, for me, like, it's like I have to. They all have their pluses and minuses, and they all kind of, like I said, I'm not necessarily willing to die on the hill of like the rankings of the Avatar movies, but me personally, I find Fire and Ash I found it to be the most insane. It felt like, I don't know if it's because it's new and I've just seen it, but it felt like it had the most like action and the most momentum. I liked how kind of dark it started as well. It started really miserable, which is like the complete opposite to like the Way of Water, where everything's kind of like a bit more bubbly and we spend a lot of time having this kind of... you know what I think the big difference with, because the third and second one is that I enjoyed the second one. I just think that the middle with the whales, the whale watching and the kids, the hangout kind of movie that we get, it just makes the film sag a bit. And I feel like in Fire and Ash, I felt the momentum, and it was keeping me going through the pacing of it.
Do you think it's fair to say that your next movie in the ranking is an Avatar movie? Because mine is.
Yes, so we might as well.
We might as well say.
Yeah,
seventh place. 3, 2, 1. Way of Water.
What the fuck's the name of it? Whale Water, yeah. No,
No, you're Fire and Ash.
Fire and
right?
Ash, sorry.
Right,
Fire
right,
and
right. So you
I
went.
just said Whale Water, didn't I? Okay, yeah.
So you went Whale Water, where I went Fire of Ash,
Yes.
and then you've gone Fire and Ash, where I've gone Whale Water.
Yes.
Because I think we might as well
Yeah, I
just
should have
say
just
this.
said it because I was kind of saying it anyway.
We might as well just say this so we can.
You're right,
back and
yeah,
forth.
yeah.
I prefer Way of Water.
Yep.
Because I do think the whale stuff kind of sags, but I do think it's kind of sweet. And every time I watch it, I'm kind of like, oh, this is kind of sagging a little bit. But I do think the payoff of then you care about the whales getting hunted in that finale, which I do think, I know, like, I see what you're saying about the third film finale kind of bringing everything in together. But I think that second movie finale is the best finale. Like, the stuff on the boats is James Cameron at his, like, most catastrophically awesome, like, you know, like combining, like, you know, all the stuff he learnt on The Abyss, all of his visual effects work. I just think there's some great awesome bits in that, and then the way it cascades into like the burning ship where Neytiri is out for blood and Jake and Quaritch have that one-on-one, and like, also there's cost to the finale of 2. Loak dies, and it's actually, you know, they actually have the balls to kill off one of the kids. I think it's a really strong finale. And then, you know, you've got like Spider's sort of
conflict with his dad.
With his dad. Yeah. Where like he saves him, doesn't he? Yeah. And I think it really builds to something. And there's also just moments in it that I think are really gnarly, like Quaritch crushing his own skull, and the bloody whale catcher guy when his arm gets caught on the thing, and he's like, and then boom, and he loses his arm. I thought he was dead. I was really surprised he showed up in the third one.
And he had a nasty death in the third one.
He goes out
him
good.
down
He
to
goes
the
out
death.
good.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
That was what was annoying. He goes out really well.
Yeah.
Carmela Soprano, she's like, we need to evacuate the ship.
Yeah.
Next scene, she's still there. No ship goes down without the captain, but we don't have a beat of that.
Yeah.
And she just gets sucked into like the vortex. I'm like, I kind of wanted something a bit more there. But I think they're very similar films, and you know, depending on what day of the week it is, maybe I could swap them around.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
I just think 2, I think is more complete, and I think it's fresher because I think 2 is very different to 1. Like, you know, Jake Sully is a family man, Neytiri is you know part of this family unit is different to 1, and then all the stuff added in with Quaritch is different, and then they kind of develop that in 3, but it is essentially more of the same to me.
Yeah.
And then I think the thing that really tips it for me is I just think the finale's worse. But also, I think the most interesting stuff with Quaritch, I say it's lore light. I think one of the only things about Avatar where like the lore is kind of hitting that kind of like Terminator Aliens level is I love the idea of the recombinants. I love that they get the soldiers of the RDA to back their brains up before they die.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, you know, it's not like he's been ported over to his Navi body. He is a clone, but he's not a clone up to his death. He's a clone from before he died. So even then there's still a splinter. For him to go and find his own body and crush his own skull, that to me is like what I want from James Cameron. Yeah. So, you know, stuff like that, I'm like, I really love that stuff, and I really love how he goes to like tame one of the flying beasts, and he's gonna like do it like the RDA way, and Spider's like, you know, Jake Sully did it, you know, the proper way, and he's like, oh, I have to do it the proper way then. Yeah, I really like that kind of stuff of the soldiers that were human now being Na'vi.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, I think that stuff's really interesting. But yeah, overall they're still.
I would agree with you that those two I
films.
can flip flop between the two, definitely. Yeah.
And then, I guess we come up to 6th place.
Yeah, I've been battling with this one.
Okay. Should we choose?
I've been battling with this one, so I could regret my decision, but this is how I'm feeling.
So far, your Avatar, Whale Water, Fire and Ash. That's your bottom 3.
Yeah.
So far, mine is The Abyss, Fire and Ash, Whale Water.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
True
Avatar.
Lies.
Oh, you're going to put True Lies below The Abyss? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have got Mr. Letterboxd in the house.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Okay. So you've done all the avatars now.
Done the episodes. For me, we're in territory where I'm like, I really enjoy all these movies, these next ones. Where I would rewatch all these.
Yeah, okay. Well, shall I just wrap up the Avatar thing?
Do the Avatar, yeah.
I just put that first. I just think it's as I say, it's the most complete story.
Yeah.
I just think you could never have made any Avatar sequels. It would just stand on its own. And I really like Jake's arc, and you know, all this stuff comes down to the characters. I think that's the most complete arc.
Yeah.
Granted, the effects in 2 and 3 are better, but you know, if you come out of the movie saying it looked good, as Dave Mount would say, that means the story sucked. You know,
100%.
so we can't always bank on how good the effects are.
I
I think
agree.
for me, you know, the tightest spectacle is the first one. So I put it 7. I put it 6. Sorry, that's my favorite Avatar film. And then they we're talking increments of very slight increments, because I don't think it's that much better than 2 and 3. I don't think 2 and 3 are that much worse.
I feel the exact same. Yeah.
But 6, you've put True Lies.
I have, yeah. I've been battling with this one ever since I watched the newest addition to my James Cameron rankings.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I am shocked because I really enjoy True Lies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I fucking love True Lies. Yeah.
It's really the only Cameron comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. So I love True Lies. I think it's great. It's hard because, like, what am I going to talk about now? Am I going to talk about how much I love True Lies, or am I going to talk about, like, the things that have put it into this position? Do you know what I mean? This is where it gets difficult,
let's
right?
talk about,
It's just like, I love this movie.
Well, I can hop on this train with you to talk about how much what you love about it.
Okay, yeah, 6. All right, so what I love about True Lies, I love that we get to see essentially kind of what does a James Cameron, James Bond movie look like to some degree, and also what if it's like the kind of antithesis to Bond in the same sense that it's all about him being a family man. And I love that, you know, the whole thing of like his family thinks he's really boring, and that like his wife thinks he sucks. She's kind of having this like midlife crisis.
Yeah.
But he's actually probably the most exciting man in the world. And I love the way that he decides to tell her that by basically staging a spy mission that ends up, you know, going wrong, that they get captured by, you know, terrorists and stuff. I
think weirdly, like, I think a lot of James Cameron in tone is like responsible for a lot of the PG-13 blockbusters we have today.
Yeah.
Like, I think all the Marvel movies owe something to James Cameron in terms of tone, like the balance of action and comedy. But I think even more so than, like, you know, I know Terminator's R-rated, but it is definitely like a PG-13 film
100%.
with gore.
Yeah.
This is I think this is also R-rated, isn't it? But it's the way it's an action comedy, like with Arnold running around on the horse, quipping one-liners to bystanders. I'm like, this is like the blueprint for like what Marvel movies are.
100%.
Done way better.
100%.
But like, I feel like that is what.
Oh, and dare I
are.
say, one of the greatest sort of action set third acts.
With the jump jet.
With the jet, the you know, the fucking the what's it called? The bridge sequence.
Yeah.
With the car, you know.
Is it a bridge? It's like, I know what you mean. It's like
What's it
it's
called?
like a highway.
Like a highway.
Above water, isn't it?
Yeah. What's it? The Florida. What's it called? I actually wrote it down because I'm terrible at remembering names. It's called the. Oh no, I can't read my own handwriting. The Key Bridge in Florida.
Right.
Which, funny enough, why I wrote it down is because while I was researching it, I found out that Florida changed its explosive laws because of that movie. Because it basically after the movie, because it like fucked up the environment because of how big the explosion was or something. So they had to basically change their pyrotechnic laws post that movie.
Amazing.
So
that would upset.
So you're never gonna.
Cameron.
Yeah. So you're never gonna see an explosion like that
On
in
the
Florida
Bridge.
Bridge ever again. So
that sequence is amazing.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to catch her, and then I think it's practical, isn't it? How like the car goes off, and
then remember the villain girl who's got him captured.
Oh yeah.
She goes off into the thing.
Yeah. I love the whole
so
preamble. When he's got the truth serum, and she's like,
Yeah,
"Are they going to kill us?" Yep.
Yeah.
And then like when she drops the Uzi and it bounces down the stairs,
Yeah,
there's just so many good
really
moments.
fun.
To do.
It's
Like,
really fun.
It's super fun. It's super fun. Some of the funniest Arnold line reads ever.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you want my invitation? Here's my invitation. Doop.
Yeah.
Also, when he's, you know, an iconic moment when Jamie Lee Curtis is possibly the sexiest person of all time in the scene where she's dancing.
absolutely iconic, especially for 12-year-old Matt and Charlie.
Oh, Even younger than that.
Yeah, even younger than that, probably. Yeah.
Formative
Sorry,
time.
even longer than that.
A
You're right.
formative
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Watch, that was
true.
When I watched that movie, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
More than a feeling.
I'm like, damn, Laurie Strode grew up.
yeah, she is
Yeah.
incredible in that.
Yeah.
But also, I just think she's a great character overall. Like, I love
She is a great character.
everything she has with Bill Paxton, where like,
Yeah.
because she's a genuinely kind person, and she takes at face value that he's a spy and he needs her help. That she's willing to help him. Also, Bill Paxton, fucking hilarious.
So funny.
I got a little dick. It's pathetic. And I don't score a lot.
He's so funny.
1 point every minute. The line that really
And the finale as well, where they like they like catch him, didn't they? And they at the dance, don't they? And they like
like
he's
the
up
coda
to
of the movie.
yeah, that's
Yeah. I also am always eternally perplexed by what did he mean by when he says that she hasn't asked like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, I never
What does he
never
mean by
understood that. Never understood. It's the weirdest line ever. I always thought, huh? What?
She's got
The
an
fuck?
ass like a 12-year-old
What does that mean?
boy.
What does
Like-
that mean?
Like there's paedophilia there. Are you into like men? What's the
What's going on?
Like, why does she remind you of a? Well, it says it's not even a man. It's a child.
yeah.
Like, there's so much
It's
going
the
on
weirdest
there.
line. I don't
Like,
get it.
why 12?
I don't get it.
It's creeping me out just talking about it. Like,
yeah.
but it's just such a weird
Well,
line.
yeah, he's a creepy
On top
character.
of him being a creepy character anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
But I just love how he's faking being a spy.
It's hilarious.
One of the saddest points of it for me structurally is like when he kind of drops out of it. I feel like I
Yeah.
wish they'd have written in a reason why he had to like be on the adventure.
I
Like,
agree.
He's such a hilarious character.
I agree.
But yeah, and like the terrorists are
Yep.
hilarious.
The jet sequence at the end is just, I can't believe that like they did a lot. How like, they did so much of that. I think it's the first and only time they've ever used an actual fighter, a US military fighter jet in a film.
Oh, is it not the Harrier jump jet? Is it not British jet? Is it American?
It's a US military one. Yeah.
Is it the Harrier?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And
They
it's the
don't
first
make
ever
them
time.
anymore, do they?
Yeah, I don't know, but I remember reading before they don't. That's the only time it's been put on screen, unless someone's done it since.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
from what I can see, I don't
It's
know.
fucking awesome. Like it
Yeah.
takes off vertically.
So cool.
Also, the fucking kiss behind the mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
Behind the mushroom clouds.
Yeah.
Watchmen fucking lifted that whole sail.
Yeah, and I love that they at the end she gets into the business and
Yeah. It was begging for a sequel.
Yeah.
A sequel was actually written, and you can see why it got cancelled. The whole second act was about terrorists hijacking a plane, and it was written in 2001 to be shot in 2002.
Mental.
Obviously, it never came to pass, and I just feel like it wouldn't happen now.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of like the James Cameron sequel. I wish we'd have gone.
James Cameron is actually scary good at predicting things that happen in the future. Like that, for example. I mean, I think he says that in Terminator it's not going to happen for another 40 years, and I think that's like around now, and AI is now live. So it's
Kyle
like,
Reese says that.
Yeah. So he said that, and then there was something else I found the other day. I think it's on. I think when he was doing research for like on the news when it's announced that the nukes that go off when the nuke goes off.
In True Lies.
In Terminator.
Okay.
Terminator 2, sorry, that he wrote. He basically wrote on the news that day. It was a tame day. Michael Jackson turned 40, right? And he just randomly threw that out there on that random date, right? And it turned out that actually Michael Jackson on that day actually did turn 40, but like he predicted it like.
Well, so he knew
And he
his
didn't.
birthday.
No, but he didn't. Apparently, he said like I didn't even know his birthday. I just like wrote it as like a random thing that would be like a news story that would be like top of the news, even though obviously this big event's about to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like so he's kind of weirdly. He's got a weird thing where he can predict. He's predicted a few little weird.
I predict these things.
Yeah.
What don't you like about True Lies, or what holds it back from being, I guess?
Yeah,
higher?
I think. Yeah, I mean, it's a much of a muchness at this point, but I think that the thing that holds it probably back to me to the others is just I feel like I've seen a million of these type of movies. I love it. I think it's great. It's it's not my favorite Arnold comedy movie. It's not It's the one that I forget about a lot. In James Cameron's rankings.
I know what you mean, because I do feel like it's more of an outlier than perhaps any others.
It is. I mean, while I was looking at these movies, I was trying to. I kept thinking like they all feel the same, even the one like True Lies that isn't. I was like, what are they? What's like the tying thread between all of them? And I feel like all the tying thread between all of them is they're all about love, and they're all about the destruction of Earth, essentially. Like they're all about the fear of nuclear bombs or the fear of like the existential threat of like the Earth being destroyed. Whether that's Avatar's planet being destroyed, and even I would argue like the xenomorph itself is kind of like a nuclear bomb in its
Well, it's the threat of the nuke, the reactor going off.
The reactor going off as well. Like
that's interesting you say it, because obviously there is the nukes the bad guy wants to use.
True Lies has that as well.
Say it's about love, well, like husband and wife, father and daughter.
Yep. They're all kind of about that.
Kind of connected,
And I couldn't figure out what that was until it was actually what triggered it was a podcast with James Cameron where he was like, someone was like, what do you think thematically connects with your movies? And he said love. And it's like, funny, I always thought of it as like, it's always been against like sticking it to the man. I feel like always is like all of his movies, But then when I actually sat and thought about it, I was like, actually there's more.
Yeah.
It is about, they're all about
I think
love.
they're all about really archetypal family bonds.
Yeah.
Like Ripley becoming a mother again.
Yeah.
In Aliens, Sarah Connor, it's becoming a mother and then protecting your progeny.
Yeah.
Jake Sully, everything with that is protecting your progeny.
Yeah.
Having a family. Obviously, True Lies is similar. I guess
to learn to love a robot as well.
Yeah. And then The Abyss, obviously, it's like reconciling with my ex-wife, which
Yeah.
I'm sure is something close to his heart.
Yeah.
I actually love on the Titanic commentary, he mentions that he met Susie Amos on that film, and he's like, and we've been together ever since. And like, I just find it so funny as you're watching the commentary. It's like kind of burying the other part about that, Jimmy, where you had an affair on your then wife, Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
My boy jumps from wife to wife. He's been married like 5 times. So yeah, he's a bit of a fiend. Have you seen an interview with him recently where he kind of mentions Arnold's infidelity?
No.
Well, he's like doing an interview. He says like, Arnold's a very loyal guy. Well, not really, kind of. Anyway, and then he continues on.
No way.
Also, Jimmy,
come on.
Pot kettle black.
Yeah. That's so funny.
That's
so
funny. Like, I feel like they're very similar dudes,
That's so funny.
I do love True Lies. I think I agree with you pretty much on it completely. It's not that much higher in my ranking either. But I definitely liked it more than The Abyss, which obviously you haven't said The Abyss yet, so I guess you like that more. But should we go into the next films?
Yes, yeah.
So in 5th place,
double checking. Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. True
The
Lies.
Abyss.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we've covered True Lies.
We've covered True Lies.
Yeah, I really love it. I think it's a real comfort watch, and like you can stick on any time.
100%.
I'd love to check it out.
Yeah.
And some really underrated action.
Definitely.
Even though it's James Cameron, I feel like people don't talk about True Lies enough.
I agree.
Also, final note I'd like to talk on True Lies before. I know you were about to gush over The Abyss. I love the Arnold line read where he has the really romantic moment with Jamie Lee Curtis, and then he has to go save the daughter, and before he runs off, he's like, "Bye."
Yeah.
Runs off.
How dorky is he? So funny
Cinema,
in it.
cinema,
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. The Abyss. You really enjoyed it, and you've ranked it above all 3 Avatars
And
True Lies.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I had a debate with this though. This wasn't. Again, and also this might also be because it's fresh. Spoiler alert. I just watched
we both watched it
for the first time. We'd never seen it before. And I was kind of having that same thing that you had, where it was like, there's probably a reason I haven't seen this. I don't feel like people talk about it that much, other than like some effects and stuff. I kind of was going in a bit like, I looked at the runtime. I was like, oh god, are these another long one? Like, and when I watched it, I was incredibly surprised. I was
We both watched
pleasantly
the extended cuts, right?
Yeah,
2 hours 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. 2 hours 20 was yours. Mine was 2 hours 50, so I don't know what I watched.
Oh, interesting.
That's
Really?
very
It was almost
interesting.
3 hours.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
That's weird. That's made me think.
Maybe we should have watched both cuts.
Yeah.
Well,
The problem is, I
think-
had. Well, we're gonna go into this. I'll quickly go into this before I go into it. Then, it's actually incredibly difficult to get a hold of in the UK, and there's actually a reason for this. So, I don't know if you remember. There's a scene. I don't know. It might not be in your film, where they put the rat inside that water thing, and it starts drowning.
Yeah.
So that is the first time that I'm going to make sure I get the name of this.
Is
water.
this like special water?
It's called like liquid oxygen or something.
It's real, isn't it?
It's real. It's a real thing. I'm just going to double check that I've pronounced it properly because it's called red oxygenated liquid, right? Yeah, and it is a thing, and they actually did put the rat inside that water, and it is actually kind of struggling, but it did live afterwards. The rat was fine.
No rats were harmed.
No rats were harmed, yeah. However, in the UK, it's banned because
What, The Abyss, the film?
Yeah.
Or the red liquid?
well, yeah, The Abyss is the film, from what I can see, because of the Animal Rights Act or something. Because apparently we didn't like that it looks like it's in pain, isn't it?
I mean, it's definitely struggling.
It's definitely
Yeah,
struggling.
yeah.
Which is mental because I was like, I thought it was all mumbo jumbo for the movie.
You know what? I feel like I'd heard before that it was real, the red liquid.
Yeah.
But it is so crazy. It does feel like sci-fi. Like the idea
Yeah.
that you would like fill your lungs up with this stuff.
Crazy.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Really cool. I was freaking. It was a yeah.
But this is kind of crazy
Yeah.
because you watched an almost 3-hour cut.
Yeah. What's going on?
I assumed the 2 hours 21 was
the
longer
extended,
cut,
yeah.
and it was probably about 2 hours. And
Yeah.
also, the thing that made me thought I'd watch the extended
This is
cut,
weird now because it's like, what have I seen now that you haven't seen? Do you know what I mean? Or like vice versa.
From what I understood, I thought the extended cut put all the kind of subtext of like America and Russia in.
Yeah.
But the version that I watched
Had
definitely
that.
referred to that. But I guess maybe what it is that it properly refers to that
Yeah.
in a bigger way.
Yeah.
Did you feel like it was a more substantial way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's more or less. Still, like, this is the only one I've seen. So this is kind of weird now, isn't it? This is kind of
I
awkward.
wonder if this extended cut is like
I don't know.
way better.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is interesting. I'll just talk about what I liked about it and see if you remember these scenes or whatever.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
they
I
make
kind
sense.
of I thought I had watched the longest version.
I mean, don't get me
It's
wrong.
weird now, yeah,
Although,
'cause-
don't get me wrong. There are the things that you mentioned that I not like. I also agree with that I didn't like about it.
Okay.
Um,
But it's interesting because when we get onto Aliens,
yeah,
without touching on it too much, but there's 2 cuts of that,
yeah.
and I think
There's a superior.
there's a far superior
Far
version,
superior, yeah.
but just because of one scene. so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the fact that there's potentially a way longer version of the Abyss
Yeah, makes
makes
me
me kind of think, oh boy, I am going to end up watching it
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
But for now, I think I'm happy with where it is in my ranking. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I at first it started off and I'm like, maybe this is a bit of a jump to say, but I was like, hold on a minute, is he doing Die Hard in underwater? I was like, like the whole thing of like, he's, Ed Harris, this big run, kind of, everyman
Yeah.
is at this, he's gone on this submarine that's, now run by his ex-wife who he's not friends with, and then, by the course of it, the course of this trauma, they kind of come together,
Yeah.
and like, there was all these kind of weird, there was all this set piece where like the submarine starts sinking, and I just thought that was phenomenal. It reminded me a lot of scenes in the Titanic, where for one, the fact that he did all this stuff, the fact that all this water's coming through, it's funny. I personally found it really tense. I thought it was going down a bit of a horror
You know
route.
the part where one of the guys was like, "We need to get out of here now."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then they drowned to death. I thought that was really
Yes,
tense.
yeah.
But it's interesting you say horror vibe because that was one of the things I really kept finding I was left wanting watching it. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is almost too whimsical.
It
Like, it's thinking
definitely
the
goes
saw,
there.
you
Definitely
know?
goes there. But the bit where the sinking has happened,
Yeah.
and then Michael Biehn and a few others have to go back through the ship, and like all the bodies are like floating around.
yeah.
And like, I just found that like it was really eerie, and I loved that all these like bits of paper and stuff were like floating around whilst they were like searching through, and and like some of the framing of like the bodies, like I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting, because I was expecting it to be, which it is, like the whimsical thing, because I'd seen like, you know, the kind of good alien thing online, you know what I mean? So all this stuff at the start, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know. I almost could have done with the movie almost just being all of that stuff. My kind of issues lie with the movie are, I do think it's kind of like 3 movies at one at times. I did really like though that, you know, they've got this threat of this being they don't know what it is. We don't actually know at the start if it's, you know, good or not. Mm-hmm. It actually kind of takes down a submarine at the start, which I thought was a really cool opening as well. And then you hear all this stuff of like, oh, the Russians have attacked, and then I'm now not sure. It kind of gave kind of Crimson Tide vibes in the sense of like, you know, Michael Biehn's like, we need to make this decision to nuke, you know, send the nukes off, but they're like, no, we can't, because we haven't been a message from high above. You can't kind of do that. And then obviously we get the reveal that actually it's this kind of sentient being that's actually kind of nice. I was just really shocked by it. I was really blown away by the filmmaking, the character. I thought the whole stuff when Ed Harris like throws his wife's ring in the toilet, and then he like puts his hand in to get. I just thought that was. I think James Cameron's really good at giving you like little kind of character beats where like it's not involving dialogue, even though he does do some great dialogue stuff later. Like particularly, I found the scene very tense when the wife gives him the oxygen mask to so that he could survive to swim back and get help. But then she like drowns. He got me. I actually thought she was dead.
This is so interesting because I feel like I was literally just like, well, the alien, like she's even gonna get revived,
the only thing
I did think
the thing is, it was at the point where I was like, I started off and I was like, the alien's gonna bullshit her. The alien's gonna bullshit her. And then he starts slapping her. He starts slapping her in the face, and he's like, wait, and I was thinking, this is fucking brutal. And it got to the point for me where I was like, even if he does come back at this point, that was a degrading way to bring someone back to life, and just like the whole scene I thought was quite heart-wrenching. Which I wasn't expecting to feel in this movie, particularly the way that Ed Harris's performance in that scene I thought was incredible. You could really feel his pain, and then only to have sorry if I'm going on too long because I know we've got certain
no, it's interesting. I just
because
all these points I'm like I really wish it moved.
I know what you mean.
I don't feel like there was any peril of her dying.
I was so shocked by it all. I
thought the ending was so boring.
The ending, right? We can get onto the ending if you want to talk about the ending.
I just don't care about these aliens. And it felt really Avatar in that sense, especially because like the designs of like the glowing luminescent stuff. I'm like, this just feels like the stuff I don't like about Avatar. No, I do think the weakest part of the movie is like that stuff. I do think that it could. It's weird. The effects are amazing.
The effects are incredible.
The water filling up the sets, the miniatures. Awesome.
Well, it's like, I forget this movie came out in 1989. This is like one of the first times people have seen CGI.
Well, I think is it not the very? I
think it is the first
CGI
time.
character, and this paved the way for the T-1000.
Yeah, and also
you can kind of see that in the watery kind of the way it's sprinkling into the face, and
the John and Thomas Knoll worked on the effects of this movie, and whilst they were making this movie, they actually built a software that is the fundamentals of what Photoshop is. So they basically created Photoshop in the process of making the CGI for this movie.
Well, I gotta like it for that.
Exactly.
It's just interesting to me that, do you not feel like it's lacking really lacking conflict? I feel like Michael Biehn's character, there's just this. I really think that's a weak character. I really don't. You know what I feel like it should feel like?
Go on.
Spoilers for Sunshine. Where
it did remind me of that a little bit actually.
But you know where that goes, where it's like it's not like an alien extraterrestrial threat, but like a guy that's lost his marbles. And that goes a bit Slasher, goes a bit Event Horizon, but I feel the threat of that character.
Yeah.
I also really feel the threat of the sun burning them all alive. And I just feel like, I know it's like if it's a reverse into like Under the Sea, I just don't feel like it hits those same character notes. And I just find like the Peril of Sunshine, I think it's actually a really good comparison.
It is a good comparison.
They go out in all really gut wrenching ways. They actually go out. Chris Evans goes out.
Yeah.
The wife, I never thought she was going to die. No one really key dies.
Yeah.
And I never felt like, oh, we really need to get this nuke. Oh, we really need to get out of here. Like, I just like really good set pieces individually. But I also like what you said about feeling eerie. I consistently did not feel creeped out, and I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like I really like even when the bodies are like, you know, the bit where they open the door and the body comes out. I'm like, I just feel like I'm not creeped out going through the submarine. And I really wish I was.
Did you not find the scene tense as well when he's been dropped down to cut the nuke and he's like losing oxygen? And she's like talking through.
I just
And the way it was shot was like him just going into the darkness and like I think Ed Harris is. I thought he was really good in it. I was really
It was cool. It was cool. I just feel like what was at stake. I just feel like I don't know. Like I wasn't invested in what was at stake.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, the end of the Earth.
Yeah,
Stuff.
fuck that.
You didn't
Fuck
like
that heap of shit. Yeah. Fuck that. To quote Ron Perlman,
Giant tsunamis.
Earthman, what a shit on. No, but I don't know. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. And I kind of like the stuff with the husband and ex-wife.
Yeah.
But the reconciliation almost feels a bit odd. I don't know.
Oh, really? I feel like it was really well earned by the end of it.
It's just because they're in that like pressurized scenario that they want to get back together. I feel like they. I don't know. Maybe I'm bringing too much of like real life into it. But it's like how many divorced couples will get back together. I don't know. It's just not a thing. Like it just feels like that's the big, that's the biggest fantasy of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like mummy and daddy getting back together.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just, I don't know.
It does happen. Die Hard, does it?
Yeah. But Die Hard's a way better movie.
Yeah, that's true.
As James Cameron said, that's James Cameron's favourite action movie.
I mean, it is the greatest action movie of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish I felt these things like how you did in the movie. I don't know.
I was surprised. I was so shocked. I don't know if that played a part. Like maybe I'll rewatch it, and that's why I was like, I'm an arm of True Lies. I've seen True Lies so many times, and I feel like this is getting like a it's getting put above as well because it's like fresher. It feels new. I also I actually kind of like as much as I didn't really like the alien stuff that much. I did kind of like what James was trying to do, particularly with like the whole 2001 stuff at the end.
Oh, so again when he's going through the whole thing, I'm like, right, it's James Cameron's 2001.
Yeah.
Again, that should be way more awesome than it is.
Yeah.
I just feel like like it's a real poor man's 2001.
Yeah.
Like it's just not 2001.
No, yeah.
You know.
I also did you not think the whole sequence with where they were fighting Bean with the in the submarines was sick? Because do you know what was funny? Why I actually thought I knew you wasn't gonna. I thought you'd feel the same in the sense of like it's it's not the top tier James Cameron, but I did think you'd enjoy what you did in the sense of like it gave me Thunderbirds vibes at times.
That's so funny you say that because when I was watching it. Not actually even that scene.
Yeah.
There was something else they were doing, and I was like, there is something really Jerry Anderson.
Yeah. And I was almost thinking like, and I know it's funny because we've said this before, but I do feel like James Cameron's like he's like the perfect person to do like a Thunderbirds movie.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like I was watching it like, yes, this is kind of how you do a Thunderbirds at times.
Michael Bean could have been a Tracy.
Oh, 100%. That's actually great.
Virgil or Scott.
Yeah.
Michael Bean.
Yeah. That's actually great.
No, I've got the perfect casting, right?
Hit me.
90s Thunderbirds,
Yes.
James Cameron.
Let's go.
Michael Bean, Scott Tracy, Thunderbird 1.
Perfect, yeah.
Thunderbird 2, Virgil Tracy, Alec Baldwin.
Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good.
Thunderbird 3, Alan Tracy, Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. That's actually the movie to make. That's the movie to make. Yeah. In the 90s. Let's go back in time. Let's convince them.
Oh my god, yeah.
What would you do with a time travel machine? I'd go back to the 90s and get James Cameron to make the Thunderbirds movie.
And you know what the best part is? You could still have Bill Paxton, Jeff Tracy.
Yeah, you actually could.
Because that's also great.
You actually could, yeah.
In a terrible movie.
That's so true.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I could like it more on a rewatch. Maybe it's almost the opposite of what you're saying, in that it's still quite fresh to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just didn't move me, man.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I was really shocked by it. I was enjoying it. Yeah, I do agree with you though. I think the third act's the weakest part for me, but the rest of it, I had a really fun time. I was enjoying seeing the underwater space adventure of James Cameron. And then it made me realise, like, actually, hold on a minute. I think I really like submarine movies. And I was like, I need to go through and watch a few more. Because every time I've watched one, it's like a new thing.
Dig it.
I'm like, I've been digging the submarine. Yeah. There's something inherently cinematic about a submarine, I feel like.
The claustrophobia is...
The claustrophobia, just the ocean, just anything, underwater. But yeah.
Do you want to move on to fourth place?
Yeah, just do it.
Maybe continuing a theme of water, who knows? I actually think there's a strong possibility we could have all 4 ducks in a row.
I think there's a very strong possibility right now, yeah.
But I also wonder...
Yeah.
Because there's one film that I know you really love, that I love too.
Yeah.
But I could see you going full hog on it.
Yeah.
To the point where it's higher than where I put it.
Yeah, sometimes I debate this and I think I know what it is. Yeah.
Right, okay. When you say what the film is, where it's ranked, I'm going to say that was the film that I thought you could have gone full hog.
100%.
But yeah, for now, 4th place.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, Titanic. Okay.
100%.
I actually toyed with putting it higher.
Interesting. Because for me, I think it sits perfectly where it is for me. Like we're at the point now where I'm like, this is pretty definitive.
I think so, but I got to a point where I was like, I just like the other 3 movies that he made.
Yeah.
Are just so perfection and near and dear to me.
Yeah.
That I couldn't possibly put it above them. But I do think this is James Cameron's magnum opus.
I know what you mean.
Like,
some
it's
degree.
got it all. It's got it all.
I mean, I still think I can't. I still think there's another one that's to make magnum opus, but you know,
But
I see. I know what you're saying. It's his big like fucking swing. It's like his gigantic block. Like you're not gonna get a movie like this again unless James Cameron's doing it.
It's the most four quadrant blockbuster of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a bit of a heteronormative view of it, but it's like that
it could be a movie for
something
everyone.
For the mums, something for the dads, something for the kids.
Yeah.
It's all covered.
Yeah.
Because you've got a sweeping operatic romance movie.
Don't forget the nans and the granddads as well.
Don't forget the nans and granddads as well. There's something for them.
There is.
You've got this sweeping romance. It's operatic. There's levels of camp to it with Billy Zane. There's epic action. It's a disaster movie. Like the effects are absolutely insane. It's the culmination of everything you learned from Water with The Abyss.
Yeah.
It's like the CGI of some of it is awesome. The practical effects when the captain finally comes to the water and it crashes in through all those windows. When the ship goes up vertical, it's insane. It's
masterful filmmaking. Like it's truly like spectacular studio filmmaking that you just don't. It's just incredibly rare. Like only James Cameron can do that. I think it's so clever to be like, well, we're on the Titanic. This whole thing's about class. From like before the ship sinks, with how Rose is in this kind of like trapped life, and she meets Jack, and like even though she's endowed with all these riches, she's as a woman in that time. It's really rough, and she's being wedded off this absolute cunt. Yeah.
Excuse my French.
Yeah.
But then also the way that those class themes weave into later on, where the poorest people are being shut down in the lowest levels to drown. Also, some of the imagery in this film, when Vasquez from Aliens is the Irish mum and she's reading the kids a lullaby as they're drowning.
It's incredible.
The old couple spooning each other as they're about to drown. Like, there's so many good images in it.
Yeah.
I always think masterful James Cameron exposition at the start. He has the nerdonauts in the modern day tell you exactly how the Titanic sinks, how it breaks in half, how it goes vertical, so that when it happens later in the movie, not a single soul is like, hang on a minute, why is it doing this? Like, it's all explained to you. You're not even consciously thinking about it by the time we get to that point. It's also like it's in that category of like 3-hour movie that like doesn't feel anywhere near its length ever.
No.
Blows by.
Yeah.
There's something about Leonardo DiCaprio in that, because like Wolf of Wall Street's similar, where it just blows by.
That's true.
Also, one of Leonardo DiCaprio's best roles.
He's great. Yeah, I think it's. I agree with everything you just said. I think one of its greatest strengths is like what you said, that it starts with, this old lady as well, discovering you know that they found a painting of her, or a drawing, sorry, of her, and I love that I just think it's such a clever way of like, you know, relating it to the modern audiences. And we're not just watching a bunch of old people who we lived in a time we didn't live in, you know, die on a boat. Like, it's like bringing it back to our reality of like, oh no, this your great nan or whatever was on this, and she had this romance.
Like, you know,
and like
these old people, they lived lives.
Yeah, it's about love and secrets and like and class, and like I think that's like the thing for me that makes it kind of special is that kind of loop round of like, if it was just the love story on the boat and it sinks, like obviously it's still directed by James Cameron, but I do think that's like kind of what makes it like special.
Oh yeah, I actually don't think there's anything in it that's like superfluous. Like I love that it's kind of about like the tragedy of you know, what's that saying of like, you know, you die twice, like you die the first time when you die, and then you die the second time when someone utters your name for the last time. And it's like, it's all kind of about that with like, you know, no one else really knows Jack. All his friends on there died. You know, she's the only person that knows him. And like, you know, it always chokes me up at the end when she says, you know, he just exists now in my memory.
Yeah.
I think there's just something so beautiful and existential going on.
Well,
there
they say
about,
that.
You know, how will we be remembered, and you know, we will one day completely cease, even in the way people know us.
Yeah.
This is the other thing as well about it, is like, I don't know anyone I've not watched it with who hasn't got choked up or cried at one point or another, and I just think it's there's a real beautiful through line to it. And I just, you know, for a romantic crowd pleaser, I think it's got a lot of heart in it.
Yeah. It does have a lot of heart. It does have a lot of heart in it. I although weirdly, I agree with you. I have seen everyone, you know, get upset about this movie. And I am one to get upset at movies. It's actually one of the few movies that really doesn't make me feel like that. And I think it comes down to my cynicism.
You cry at the Abyss aliens.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. No.
They're just so
beautiful. No, like they just, it's like, maybe it's my cynical nature of like, they've known each other like a day. But this is the thing that do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. The thing that does, the thing that I think does is the sad part for me is like what you said, where it's like, you know, the whole thing of like, you know, the last person to remember you is the last person keeping you alive. And like, you know, the kind of thing of like, she drops the, you know, amulet or the necklace into the river. That stuff's great.
But do you not feel like, even though it is a day, I feel like it does a really good job of earning.
That's literally where I was about to go. Is that I think why he does such a good job and why people feel that is because he spends like the first half of the movie really getting you to care about these characters. And I think I think it comes down to that scene when Kate Winslet decides to go and party with Leo DiCaprio. There is a pure joy to that scene. It might be one of my favourite scenes in the movie, weirdly, of all the, you know, the crashing and banging or whatever, is because there is so much, there's so fun in that you see this woman who has been so restrained by, you know, the class that she lives in, the culture she lives in, her husband, her mum, and then having that part where, you know, she gets to just experience pure joy. These people don't give a shit, don't treat themselves seriously. They just they know how to have actual fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, I think that sequence is so important in you being like, I fucking love these two together.
Yeah.
Like, she's showing, they're both giving each other something that they've never had before. You know, and and also I think the scene where he draws her is a sexy scene without a bit of sex scene being involved.
So sexy.
Yeah, and
it's so sexy. Also, that's iconic when she puts her hand against the steamed glass. Like, you know.
So iconic.
There's so many memorable images in it.
Yeah.
It really does break my heart at the end. There's multiple things that break my heart. Also, tons of great side characters. The
violinists,
like, should we just keep playing? Let's just keep playing to the end, you know, like.
Which is funny because in real life they actually jumped on the boats and fucked off. They didn't play.
Oh, did they?
No. It was like a thing like they made.
Oh, was that like a myth?
Yeah, it was like a myth. Yeah, but like it's funny. Awesome though, isn't it, to think about. And that's James Cameron knowing what's
because there's quite a lot of it that is fairly accurate, isn't there? Like, they did fill the boats.
Yeah, I mean, the horrific bit is when they're all frozen, when Ian Grufford's going through all the dead bodies, and like they're all frozen, and like, it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. I think that whole, you know, the second half of the ship sinking is just, just awe
Yeah.
inspiring. I'm just like, what the fuck? It's funny. I remember when I was younger, there was a guy. I think I was like 13, and there was this couple that were going to see Titanic. They had like a re-release, and they wanted to go see it. And I was at the time, I was like, oh, you want to see that? It's all lovey-dovey. Like, yeah. I didn't really get. I wasn't into that at the time. And the guy, I remember the boyfriend being like, yeah, but man, when they start dying, that movie is sick. Do you know what I mean? It's so funny. But it's like, the reason why he feels that way is because of that first half where like you build up, you care about those characters. It's so good, and that action, the way that the action shot and the build up and the tension of the water rising is just, it's just out of this world.
I agree. Incredible. I didn't really appreciate it when I was younger.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
As much as I do now, I still enjoyed like the ship crashing, but I enjoyed the first half as well now. I definitely think it's definitely a studio film. It's definitely cheesy. There's some good cheese and there's some
I was
bad
about
cheese.
to say, I think this White Solidified here, and what lets it down is there's two things. One, it's been parodied to death, so it's really hard to watch it now without thinking of all those parodies. But obviously, it's got to be good to have those parodies. And the other thing is that like, there are some really cheesy lines combined with some cheesy scores at the same time that I find
I'm king of the world.
Yeah.
Also, what's cheesy is every time they call each other by their names. All the time. All the time.
There's a few clunky lines as well, but
there is.
Like I said, it's forgiven by the rest,
But we're so drenched in fucking cynicism all the time now.
I agree.
We can't even get a box standard rom-com half the time. It's like, look how earnest this romance
is. And that's why it's charming, because of how earnest
it feels like it could have been a super special made in the 40s. Like, there's something about it that's just so timeless.
There is, 100%,
Yeah, and I just think there's so many moments that are just so fun. Like, I have to shout out before we go any further.
Go on.
Talking about other movies. Billy Zane in this movie.
He's
the eye makeup.
Great. He's so fun.
The delivery.
He's so fun in it.
Just chewing the scenery on every single line.
He's so
smug. Maybe the smuggest
he's so great to hate on it.
So hateable.
Yeah, he is.
But you can't get enough of it.
You can't get enough of it.
He's such an arsehole.
And there's almost a point. There's almost a point where James Cameron gets you to be like, oh yeah, it does, like, does kind of suck. Like, you've had your wife taken. You're a dick, but there's always the point where I'm like, oh, do you know what I mean? Like,
an absolutely diabolical line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather be his whore than your wife.
Yeah. Oh, and he's just sat there like, oh. He gets so mad that he's fucking like lost her, that he pulls out the gun. He doesn't even care for his own life at that point. He just wants revenge.
I also love like tracking how flustered he is by how much his hair go flopping off the reserve. Just such a funny performance. Like all the grins and everything. I put the diamond in the coat. I put the coat on her. Like, he's just so achingly posh.
There's no surprise that James Cameron went 75% over budget on this movie.
No.
He went 75% over budget.
Insane.
And he's the only man that could do that and get away with it. And then it'd make $1 billion whatever it made.
People thought it was going to be a real disaster, like a Heaven's Gate type movie.
Yeah.
It was only like when they first started showing footage and stuff that kind of public opinion kind of turned around. It's like, I do see on paper you could so see if this
easily
being an absolute stinker.
Easily.
And it ended up being the highest grossing movie of all time until he made another film.
Yeah.
Which is an insane flex.
Mental.
But it's not just about the money.
He's constantly... What have we learned? You can't bet against James Cameron. You don't bet against James Cameron.
It's one of those things like, is it the greatest film ever made? No. But sometimes when I'm watching it, you can feel like it is. And it deserves to have been the highest grossing movie ever made.
It does. It's also his attention to detail. Like I was reading that James Cameron, he made the prop department basically analyze the specific rust on the samples that they had from the Titanic, because obviously James Cameron is the only man to have gone to the Titanic 12 times. He'd been and seen the Titanic more than anyone has ever seen the Titanic. So he got samples from it. He made the prop department analyze the specific type of rust and replicate it for the scene. It's like for shots that no one gives a shit about. Yeah. But like that's the level of detail that he's put into this. Probably why he went so over budget. But it's like, it's in there. It's what makes it feel so real and lived in, and it's authentic.
I really recommend on the 4K the commentary track.
Yeah.
because he really goes into all of the nitty gritty.
Oh, cool.
But what is interesting is he's really open about saying like, "Oh, these doors were inaccurate, but we didn't know. Like we couldn't have
I
known."
love that.
But like, he's actually
You know that irks him as well. You
Well-
know that annoys him.
well, it was filmed in 2000. It was recorded in 2005.
Yeah.
The commentary, and I feel like there's a little bit of a dig towards George Lucas because he keeps making jokes about like, "I'm not going to go back and refilm this all as a special edition though." Like he keeps saying it. But it's fun
That's
because it's
funny.
like I just like how open he's about like, yeah, we got that wrong, we got this right.
Yeah.
This was surprisingly right. This was surprisingly wrong.
Yeah.
Also, it's just a really interesting commentary because at the start he says, "I don't really believe in doing commentaries. I feel like you shouldn't really commentate over what you've made."
Yeah.
So instead what he does is he just goes into so much detail about like how it was made that it's a really nourishing.
That sounds
commentary.
great. Okay, I'll check that.
And even just interesting things like at the start, Bill Paxton calls old Kate Winslet, and you're watching it, and he says, "We actually commit a cardinal sin of filmmaking, which films never do, which is he's calling her, and it's nighttime where he is, and where she is, it's daytime. And even though they're in different time zones, in movies they never do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just something you don't think about.
I've never thought about
Yeah,
that.
because it's like I guess the
Of
theory is
course,
that it's
people
confusing.
are not going to get
Yeah,
it.
but he was like, "No,
I've
people will
never
get
thought
it.
about that.
People will get it." Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
But Titanic, I do love it. And you know what? As Bill Paxton said, you know, as you know, what we didn't realise when we were younger, I spent 4 years trying to find Titanic, but now I just realised I never let it in.
Yeah, yeah.
With that bleach blonde haircut,
That is so
earring.
true.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Also, it gets me at the end, the final image of like when she's clearly died in her sleep.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. It's great.
Lived a full life. Yeah. Should we move on to number 3?
Let's do it.
I think it's going to be the same.
I think it is.
But maybe, who knows? Who knows?
Well, actually, it's funny. What I wrote here is not that, but I will. But yeah, I plan to have moved it anyway. But
In third place, 3, 2, 1, The Terminator. Terminator 1.
Yeah. I could have easily put this number 2. I could have easily put this
Yeah,
number 2.
I think you could have easily put it number 1. To be honest, there's a part of me that I feel like you could put it number 1.
I know
And
what
the
you
love
mean.
you have for it.
I have an immense love for this movie that wasn't necessarily always the case as a kid. I always, like 2 was the one I watched the most as a kid, but as an adult, as a aspiring filmmaker, Terminator 1 might be like one of my probably the best debut movie for me. Like I just like for the budget that it was made. What James Cameron does with that budget is just out of this world. Like it spawned one of our favourite franchises of all time.
It's a slasher movie. It's a sci-fi movie.
It's genius. Like the slasher sci-fi element of it. He's Michael Myers from the future. You know what I mean? Like he's a robot. Like everything about it screams a Roger Corman B movie, and even a guy coming from the Roger Corman school, people must have been absolutely shocked when he delivered the Terminator. Like
it's kind of similar to what Ridley Scott did with Alien. It's a B movie idea, but it's classed up.
100%. It's elevated by the direction of James Cameron and just the ideas of James Cameron, and the resourcefulness of James Cameron. Like look, you watch it today and you're like, okay, some of the Future War stuff doesn't hold up like it does in the second movie, but what he's dealing with, it looks phenomenal. Like with the budget that he had, you got to understand at the time that stuff was competing against like big Hollywood productions.
Dude, I'll go a step further.
Go.
Maybe I'm coping, but I think it still holds up tremendously.
Okay, great. I love that.
The iconic imagery of like
Yeah.
the forever night of the future.
Yeah.
Of like, you know, these hulking HKs and the flying Terminators, the blue lights, and
It's phenomenal.
He's a also like, what is there anything more awesome than when they're in the base? They go past this guy, or is it a young person watching TV? Cut to it's fire in the TV. They're just using it to get to feel warmth. Like everything about society is gone. What a brilliant cut!
It's genius. Like the thing is, I could spend the whole hour on this movie. The little bits of character of Linda Hamilton in this movie is just phenomenal. Like when she's working at the the restaurant or the cafe or wherever it is.
Big Belly
Big
Burger.
Belly Burger, that's it. The Big Belly Burger, and you know she's having a bad day. People are moaning at her, and then the kid just puts some ice cream in her pocket.
Yeah.
Like James Cameron understands, like you don't need to do that, but that little stuff adds so much character. It adds so much care to us because we're like, this woman's had not only had such a bad day, she's getting humiliated now.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
I think it's easy to forget because you think of T2
You think of two.
warrior Sarah Connor. How much of a normal person she is in the first movie, thrust into this
arc.
absolutely horrible situation.
The arc.
Her fucking flatmate gets murdered,
Oh my
and her boyfriend.
That scene is incredible. Like when
Yeah.
the flatmate gets murdered, and like also I feel like what he's really good at is actually making you care for like characters that are on screen for like 5 seconds. Like, and I think he does it with like making you making you laugh. With like, for example, we get introduced to the boyfriend by him talking dirty on the phone, and obviously Linda Hammond's picked it up, and it's not his roommate, and you know she holds on just to hear it, and then she's like, "You're alright, how you doing?" And he gets embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's like immediately we care about that guy.
Yeah.
Like we get him. He's human. He's kind of flawed. He's funny. You know what I mean? And then as soon as the roommate comes back, he starts it again. Like and then you know when they get killed, you're like. You really get a sense of like this is all she had, and they're gone.
Yeah.
And now we've got this existential threat, and then you introduce Carl Reese, which is one of the coolest characters.
Michael Bean's best role.
It's Michael Bean's best role, and he's in some great other James Cameron movies and great movies. But for me, he is the coolest he's ever been. The jacket, the trainers, everything about him is just incredible. The nightclub
There's also
sequence.
a loneliness to him.
There is a sadness.
He's never had love, really, has he? In his life, he's come from this absolutely discarded future.
There's a real vulnerability to him. There's almost like a childlike vulnerability to him in that scene where, like, you know, you keep seeing him looking at the photo of like why is my brain Sarah Connor.
He's in love with the idea of her, isn't he? Just from this photo.
And it's so because it's all he had. He has nothing else in this. What a miserable existence he had. And he has a little bit. The best part of his life is him getting chased down by a robot, and he manages to meet this woman for like a couple of days that he falls for. You know what I mean? It's
also like, do you feel like it's like on a rewatch? Every time it's like there's something so tragic about Kyle Reese of like everything about him is just like doomed to this like one singular fate that must happen.
Yeah.
You know, like I know like the whole point around the films is there is no fate what we make, but with Kyle Reese it's like he has to die.
Yeah.
He has to come back to the past to create John Connor.
Yeah.
To be involved in that, to be crucial to that. Like there's always something so depressing about his whole life, his whole existence. But he gets that glimmer of love in Sarah.
Yeah.
It also, I think, you know, it's underrated as well because again, it's one of those things where it's like we've seen it so many times. It's so ingrained in pop culture now.
You can't not imagine a world before it. It's so difficult.
No. But just the whole idea of the time paradox is so well done that, you know, like when, like, you know, where was the chicken and egg started? Like, you know, if the machines create their demise by creating the time machine that sends back the father of John Connor, like if they hadn't created that time machine as their last ditch effort, there would be no John Connor. Like, and it's great. Like, it's so well done.
And no movie has done a character coming after the protagonists in such a relentless way better than the Terminator movies. Particularly this one and the second. I feel like you can't ignore the second one as well. But this one's the first one, so it did it first. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's like the relentless nature of it, the chase sequence, the car chase. And I feel we're actually missing one of the biggest things out about this whole movie, which is the birth of the true birth of Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie, which is the most genius casting ever.
Yeah.
One of the most genius casts ever. Well,
he was going to be Lance Henriksen, wasn't he? And then it became...
He was going to... At one point, he was going to be fucking Carl Reese. At one point.
Oh, sorry. I mean, like, Lance Henriksen was going to be the Terminator.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Arnold was going to be Carl Reese.
Yeah.
And then at one point, it was going to be OJ.
Yeah.
They couldn't see him as a killer.
Yep.
Yep.
Sting, apparently, from what we
Sting,
heard. Yeah.
I love that it went from being any guy in the crowd to... No, he's a hulking robot. And, like, this skin job is almost like... ill-designed to fit into a crowd, but it's because they're massive.
Because they're so big,
robots.
they have to. Yeah. Either him or Franco Columbo. Like, yeah.
Like it's it's such perfect casting. It's synonymous with Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't
Yeah.
it? But what I love as well is, I guess, when we go into Terminator 2 is like, I think again, like with Sarah Connor, the warrior, is so ingrained in pop culture, and Arnold, the hero Terminator, you forget what a nasty, imposing, terrifying Terminator. Like, they literally made Michael Myers into a hero character.
No,
this first
it's
movie.
a miracle, and I think we'll talk about it when we go into Terminator 2, but I think that's part of the reason why I think I love this one so much is that Arnold as a bad guy is so much fun. Arnold as the Terminator hunting him down is terrifying. The police station shooting is horrific. Everything about it is just. I know once I leave this podcast today, I'm going to be kicking myself about the 1 million things I didn't say about this movie, because I could honestly gush about this movie forever.
It's a perfect movie.
It's a perfect movie to me. It's an absolute. I start the movie, it ends. I don't even think about watching it. It just absorbs in me. It's just relentless. And also the finale, the final act. It's the first time where I remember thinking as a kid, like, oh my god, this thing's unstoppable. It's absolutely because they blow him up. You get the reveal of the exo. Like, that movie could have played out, and maybe you still only saw the face thing. But the fact that he gives us the full exoskeleton, what they call them? What they call underneath?
Endoskeleton?
Is it endoskeleton?
Yeah.
Is it, of the Terminators, and then even when it's had its legs chopped off, it's still crawling towards, and then they put and even when its eye shuts off, there's a beat where you're like, is it done?
Its hand coming out like scratching like just about dying. Also, talk about effects that haven't aged today, but also obviously the stop motion of the Terminator coming out of the flames has aged. Yeah, it's stop motion. It's totally CGI, but that's what the beauty of cinema is, in that there's such a charm that you wouldn't want it any other way.
It's so charming.
The jittery T-800 in that stop motion is so uniquely creepy.
Yeah.
The CGI could just not capture it.
Yeah. I would argue that when he's walking down the walkway of the construction building, that actually looks good. Like, I agree that the fire, walking away from the fire, it looks clunky, but I think that's because of the rear projection.
It's clearly stop motion.
100%, but then, like, it's that stop motion that works because it's a robot. Like, it's such a weird... And then, like, cut into over the heads that are puppets. Like, they look great. It looks so good.
Even the fake Arnold when he's just replacing his eye.
Oh, yeah.
And the body horror of him pulling it off.
And the arm, and then the connectivity, the seeing the inside of a robot arm, and the reveal of that is
phenomenal.
Everything about it.
Also, incredible Arnold lines. I'll be back, obviously.
I'll be back. Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole. Plasma rifle in the 40-watt range.
Yes.
Also, Bill Paxton. Laundry day. Nothing clean, right? Nothing clean, right?
Plastique.
Oh, yeah. What's for dinner?
Yeah.
Also got a shout out. This should just not
work. Oh my god, I forgot. I forget more.
This should just not work. It's a slasher theme that when we have a romance sex scene, they take the slasher main theme and do it on piano.
Oh my god, I'm doing it slow-mo,
Yeah, it's slow-mo piano, and for some reason it works.
It does.
They make it out. Like, they're fucking it. It's like just the Terminator theme.
It's actually they make it beautiful.
Yeah, but it's like...
Because there's a sadness to it as well.
There's no other franchise that could do that. Like Star Wars.
So true.
Like Han and Leia and Padme and Anakin, they have their own themes.
No, yeah.
They don't just go like...
No, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Like, you know what I mean?
So
like,
true.
Like, there's no... What other franchise could do that?
Has there been a more important shag in the history of cinema?
Indiana Jones is shagging. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Like, you just couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's so
like,
true.
It just doesn't work. Somehow this works.
Yeah. Has there been a more important track in the history of cinema?
Possibly not.
Possibly not.
I mean, he's the saviour of mankind.
Yeah, he's literally the savior. They're saving mankind by fucking. Like, that's what's so hilarious about that music and it working.
Yeah.
Is that, like, it's scary. It's tragic. Yeah. It's romantic, and it's like the song you just heard, where you see the Terminator like hunting down, shooting people. And then also, I just want to give a little shout out to the Lance Henriksen and the police officers in the police station, because you actually genuinely care about them. I can't believe they kill them. And then you get to know them, and the banter with them is brilliant. Every time, I mean,
they're genuinely like really warm and caring.
They really are.
They just get yeeted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phenomenal movie. Just, I guess, pipped to the post by the other two picks.
Yeah, man.
What can you say?
Like I
It's the
said,
Terminator.
this could have been my number 2, but yeah, I had to put the next one on number 2.
All I will say is Kyle Reese would rather die than pay child support. And with that, we come to our number 2
Who was
pick.
the real villain?
We come to our number 2 pick, which I think, of course, 3, 2, 1, Aliens.
Yeah.
James Cameron famously pitched Aliens by writing Alien on the board and then writing a $ sign to make Aliens. And it's a very widely circulated story because it's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And he was right.
He was right.
The balls. We talked a bit about this with like taking Slasher Arnold into Hero Arnold. But I love that James Cameron, when he makes a sequel, he decides to blow up everything you know about the previous movie.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like, Alien is one xenomorph in a really claustrophobic horror movie. And I love that any other director would have gone, we're going to do the same thing again. Or, we're going to make a lesser version. He's like, you can't top Ridley Scott's Alien. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to make a Vietnam War movie with tons of aliens getting blown away. There's going to be an alien queen. It's going to get bigger than ever before. It's going to shift genres. Yeah. And that is absolutely the right call. It's a masterpiece.
It's an absolute masterpiece. I feel like you know, when I was toying with Terminator and Aliens, is like, I feel like with Aliens is like he invented how to do, or he almost invented how to do a sequel. Like, you know what I mean? Like how to, I felt James Cameron perfected the sequel, you know, with this and Terminator.
Definitely, certainly in terms of genre. I mean, I guess the quintessential sequel was the other thing you were thinking of, Godfather Part 2.
Exactly.
Right. So like, I feel like, that is the quintessential sequel in terms of continuing the story.
Yeah, they both understand a very important thing about sequels, which is like, give the audience something that they know, but like make it different. Like add a little bit new. You can't just remake. Like the problem with a lot of the Alien sequels is they one will either go too far where it's all different, or the other will just try and kind of do the same thing.
Well, every Alien movie is kind of a variation on, do we do Alien or Aliens?
100%.
Apart from the hellishly underrated Ridley Scott prequel films.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Alien Romulus kind of is Alien and then Aliens.
Yeah.
That was the way they kind of tried to circumvent that. We'll just do both in 2 chunks. Which I like that movie, but I don't like
And then Alien Earth tries to do all of them.
Yeah, and also be like a procedural.
Oh,
and a sequel to Blade Runner.
Yeah.
But the Alien prequels were already a sequel to Blade Runner. Anyway, we're not talking about that right now.
No.
Because we will
go
be here
off.
all
We go
day.
all day,
We'll do an Alien ranking at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the duology of Alien to Aliens, of Ripley's arc, of, well, this is where we talk about the 2 different editions, is that
Oh yeah.
the special edition adds an absolutely crucial scene which I could never imagine not being in the movie, which James Cameron fought to keep in the original theatrical version and thankfully restored it, which is that she finds out that her, in being in hypersleep for 56 years, her daughter has naturally aged and died. So she is woken up after the ordeal that she went through with the xenomorph, and because of that xenomorph, she has lost her daughter. And then going through the process of going back to LV-426, she's not only confronting her demons, she's not only proving to the company, who don't believe a word she said, she has to fight to be believed, to kind of reclaim her motherhood as well within that, with Newt, is an absolute epic arc, as she also becomes an absolute warrior. She goes from final girl in the last movie to absolute badass in this movie. The
But
twin
she's
rifle
bossing
flamethrower.
soldiers around.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, I love it's like, it's not done in a way where she's like, even though I've never had any training, I know more than you. It's more like of a...
I know more about the xenomorph. I know about the threat of the xenomorph.
And also like you've walked into, the parallels to Vietnam of like, it's a imperial military force walking into a danger that they think they are way too well equipped for, and actually turns out they don't know anything about what they're walking into, and she is able to be level headed. Like when she drives the APC to rescue them, she knows that not to underestimate this enemy.
Yeah.
But also, how many good side characters are in this? And this is, again, the blueprint for every single film where there's like a group of misfits fighting a science fiction threat.
Yeah.
I feel like owes something to Aliens. You know,
100%.
Bill Paxton, Hudson is incredible.
So good.
I'm in a shiny operate, man. 17 days. We're not gonna last 17 hours.
Yeah, so good. So good. So good.
Hicks,
Oh, all of them are so good. Game over, man.
Vasquez.
So good. Vasquez is one of the. Vasquez is actually important, I feel like, because Vasquez was like one of the coolest characters as a kid. I remember being like, that is a badass chick. Like, and I feel like it was the first time I'd really seen like a proper badass chick, other than like, you know, Sarah Connor in Terminator 2, but obviously he hadn't got to that yet in terms of the kind of, you know, in terms of the way he made films. Like, and just immediately with a line that you're like, I like this person immediately when what's his face says what does he say to her?
Have you ever been mistaken for a man?
Man, he's no of you. Fucking fantastic.
Let's rock.
So good.
The smart guns, incredible production design.
Yeah.
James Cameron just saved it. Bob was like, let's put a gun on a Steadicam.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic weapons of all science fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many like layers to this movie. Like, you know, on a story level, as a sequel to Alien, it works so well in terms of changing up what Alien was to Aliens, going to an action movie. The action is all phenomenal.
Yeah.
So many iconic moments. The motion tracker, realizing that the aliens are above them in the roof and finding them. The power loader, get away from her, you bitch.
Newt and Ripley trapped in the room with the facehugger.
Oh,
like,
and again, incredible James Cameron filmmaking.
yeah,
They reversed the shot of the facehugger coming at them, and everyone was saying to him, "The rain's gonna be going upwards.
Yeah.
It's gonna ruin the shot." And he's like, "The audience won't
No
notice."
one's gonna notice.
And this is also what's great filmmaking is like. I'm so sick of like this kind of modern thing of like, you know, if you pause The
Yeah,
Dark Knight
same.
Rises. Or you play it in like 0.25 speed, you can see in the background that one of the guards just falls over. It's like, movies are not meant to be played at anything other than the speed that they are set at. Like, if you don't notice playing it normally, it don't count.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? If you don't know that thing's CGI or not, it don't count. If someone tells you it's CGI, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all like a mastercraft
it's
of illusion.
pictures moving
Yeah.
at 24 frames
It's
per
the
second.
Prestige.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
it
It's a
doesn't
magic.
matter.
It's all a magic
Yeah,
trick.
yeah.
You're not supposed
if
to.
you can't tell the rain's going up
Yeah.
in reverse, it didn't matter.
No, exactly.
Like, you break it down slowly, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It's like watching a magician do a trick from behind. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like
from behind?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like where you can see the trick. Like, it's like what's the the whole point is that, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're obsessed with like, but everyone just it's a culture of people being obsessed with pointing out bad people of, you know.
But it's just like, I think it's just it ruins movies. It's like we're not meant to watch them that way. But yeah, absolutely epic movie. Again, a flawless movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect sequel to Alien.
Yeah, it's oh man, I don't. What is there to say about Aliens that hasn't really been said? I mean, I think there's a key person that we should maybe speak about that, you know, is going to come up in the next one, but you know, Stan Winston. I mean, the fucking Queen moving, the way it moves, everything about.
For a second, I thought you were like Stan Winston, the Queen.
The Queen.
There's something I don't know.
Yeah. No. The effects in this movie. I mean, I still think the Queen like holds up to this day.
Oh, he was an absolute wizard. He's still sorely missed this day. I understand Winston companies still do incredible effects,
100%.
but he was an absolute pioneer for the Predator as well, the Terminator. I think the last thing he actively worked on was Iron Man, wasn't it? The practical Iron Man suits.
And the suit never looked better on the screen.
No, it never
That's
did.
the thing. It never did.
It never did.
Just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, yeah, everything is bad. Yeah, what more could I say about
Sigourney
this movie?
Weaver's phenomenal in this. I love in the commentary for this on the 4K, James Cameron tells a story where Sigourney Weaver hadn't read any of the stage directions, she just read the dialogue.
Oh yeah.
And she was really anti-gun at the time. And he was like, well, you're going to be shooting a lot of guns in this. She's like, oh, I don't know about this. Takes her out back to the shooting gallery, gets to fire off some guns. She's like, oh, it's actually quite fun. In the commentary, he's like, well, I said to myself, there goes another liberal.
That's so funny.
Which is also really funny because I feel like now James Cameron's become super liberal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is so funny.
There goes another Republican.
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, I guess it's a good point to say like what has been said about this movie that's not been said. Some things I feel like we should touch on that I don't hear very often. I really love the mini arc of Gorman, you know, the lieutenant who's not had a lot of field experience. He absolutely screws the pooch on the initial
He's
attack.
a great character.
But I love that he gets an arc.
Yeah.
Him and Vasquez get trapped in the vent, and he's like, right, I've got to go back and save her. And in doing so, he sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
And then they have that awesome moment where he goes to pull the pin and they do it together.
So good.
And he's a fucking C-list character.
yeah.
He's in the background basically.
Proper sleazy character at start, and by the end of it, you're like, oh,
Yeah. Burke. What an... At least they're not screwing each other over for a goddamn percentage. Like, he's probably the most nasty character in the movie.
Yeah.
Above even the Xenomorphs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're ultimately just creatures of survival, aren't they?
100%.
It's what David admires about them.
Yeah.
But Burke, oh my god, and he gets it so
I think
good
you
as
also
well.
forget about like how much of the kind of lore of the alien as well is
The life cycle is explained here.
is literally expanded on in this movie. Like how much James Cameron, you know, the idea that you know it births, you know, there is a queen, that there is like this, you know, and that there is a connection, an emotional connection to her eggs, and like all of that stuff. You know, that wasn't in, you know, the first. So
I guess much like Terminator 2, the other thing that I think we could get fired up about talking about this is it ends perfectly in a way that you never have to make another one ever again.
Yeah, so true.
Hicks, Newt and Ripley off into hypersleep.
Yeah.
They can finally dream.
Yeah.
That the duology of Aliens is perfect.
Yeah.
You never need to make another one.
So true.
I'm so glad lately James Cameron's come out and said like it's such bullshit what Alien 3 is.
Yeah, so
I guess we can talk about this again on another Alien ranking.
Yeah.
But the way people defend Alien 3, David Fincher doesn't even defend Alien 3.
no, it's offensive. It's offensive as well to the like. You can't build a character up like that.
Yeah.
And then just you kill him off straight away. Like it's not clever because it's dark. It's not well done. It's like it's off screen as well.
I think there's merits to Alien 3.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a movie of it's so hard to even pass go.
Yeah.
Because I'm like
Well, I agree with
nuked.
what James Cameron said. He said you replace, you know, these two characters you built up a whole movie loving with prisoners.
Yeah.
Like, that's so hard for an audience to like
Yeah.
root for, to follow through the whole movie. You know what I mean? It's yeah.
I wonder what James Cameron would have done with it.
Yeah.
But then Fire and Ash is the third movie he's ever made, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. He said he'd never go back.
what's Aliens?
Alien, yeah.
I think that's fair.
Which is fair.
I
Yeah.
think
He did. He smashed it. You know.
What
I
more would
missed
you
that.
want to do?
Yeah.
I think if he was ever going to go back to anything, he's toyed with his Terminator, which I could see.
I could see,
That's him. That's his.
I agree.
baby.
Yeah.
I guess there's nothing left but the goats.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite movies of all time.
Top 4 letterbox, man, isn't it?
Top 4 letterbox for sure. Well, at the moment it's just 4 times Math Madness.
Oh
I
yeah,
will
of course.
put it back to what it should be a bit. But yeah, what a phenomenal movie! What a movie that ignited my love for filmmaking and for films at such an early age. Like it's you know for I guess for similar reasons what we listed in these last films, like on a story level, so involving. As a sci-fi movie, the lore of it and the world building of it is so engaging. The action is absolutely phenomenal. The special effects, practical and CGI to bring it to life. The combination of action and horror, I think, is an absolute fever pitch with Terminator 2. Because as I said earlier, it's still kind of spiritually PG-13. It's action blockbuster, but it's also hard R. The T-1000 is one of the scariest slasher villains of all time.
Ever.
They peaked. The whole franchise peaked with the T-1000, and ever since 1991, they've been trying to top it with various Terminators, and they can never do it because it is an absolutely perfect predator. It's an apex predator.
Yeah.
They will never top.
No.
Hero Arnold, going from slasher Arnold to you were gonna kill that guy. Of course, I'm a Terminator. Him learning the value of love. This is also why I think Terminator 2 is the end of the series, is because it not only is about that we squash Skynet in the crib, it's that these robots actually could learn to love. It's like they're not just like this opposing force to us. We could learn to get along. Like it seems like it's a really Disney message in this like really dark movie. What is there? Is there a wasted line or a missed beat in this movie?
There's not a thing. There's not absolute thing. There's scenes that I've seen versions of that have been cut that I'm like, you know what? Just chuck it all in.
Yeah.
Because everything about this movie is gold.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a fucking deleted scene that I've seen that I'm like, put it all in.
Even bratty young John Connor is a cheesy performance, but it's just right for the tempo of the movie.
It's a kid performer. It's the perfect. I think it's the perfect. Yeah, the attitude of it. You know,
his chemistry of Arnold, phenomenal.
Yeah.
His chemistry with Sarah Connor as this kind of like this mum that he hated because she's obviously put him through so much, giving him the burden of training himself, being told he's a saviour, but also then going through the ringer of people telling him his mum's crazy for so many years, and then also going through the reversal of finding out, oh no, actually, my mum's the only sane person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Because she has this incredible burden of knowing the secret that she can't tell the world because I think she's crazy, and they put her in a mental institution. Also, the fact that they put her in a mental institution
is so good in this fucking movie. She's so fucking good.
I totally buy the transformation into Warrior Sarah Connor.
She looks fucking awesome as well. Like, and she's in insane shape to the point where like she said she was trying to compete with like Arnold. And Arnold said like it's one of the best shape I've ever seen someone like getting. Like he said her body fat percentage was like he was like she could have like competed almost. Like
you can see that iconic
fucking
shot where she's
shredded. Yeah,
putting together the rifle in the desert.
Yeah.
Everything with Miles Dyson is awesome.
And the pull-ups.
Oh yeah,
she's doing
on
the pull-ups
bed
and the
of
fucking thing.
Yeah. I love that they lock her away.
Yeah.
Like what a great place to find this character in again. Like,
incredible.
Of course, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
And also, I love the through line in both of these sequels that these women go through these horrible traumatic events, and then the company men step in the sequel. They tell their honest testimony, and they go, "No, we don't believe you." They're going to plead and scream and even provide evidence, and they still get given the short end of the stick. Yeah. And in Sarah Connor's case, she gets locked away for a long period of time. Like I love that. What a low to find these characters in.
Yeah.
For them to then rise out of this. James Cameron, I think he's just so good at injecting like really strong character work.
He's the king. He's the king of female action protagonists. The absolute king, and it's. Like the whole there's so many things happening in this movie. I don't even know my brain can't even comprehend where to start. Like the we're talking about the Terminator becoming the hero in this one, but it's also so you get the surprise of that, but it's also the surprise of like where we left Linda Hamilton at the end of the last Terminator. Like we knew she was going to be she was a different woman by the end of it, but now she is a fully formed badass. She don't need no Carl Reese. She don't need anyone. She's going to fucking single-handedly take down this Terminator regardless. And seeing her, her slowly try to, she essentially tries to become a murderer to try and save.
Well, I wanted to touch on this. Yeah. Like, Ripley, no one around her once the aliens stop, once the aliens are proven to be real, no one ever questions her judgments in stopping these things. Whereas Sarah Connor really dances with the devil, even when, you kind of see a justification for wanting to kill Miles Dyson for what he's going to do. You're still like, oh, she's crossing a really dark line here.
Yeah.
That whole scene where she finally relents and can't go through with it. But then she has that subsequent bit where she's like, men like you are like the Oppenheimers.
Yeah.
Where you just create death and you don't think twice about what might happen. We never stop to ask ourselves if we should.
Repercussions.
It's awesome. I think on a story level, it's the perfect expansion of the first movie.
Everything, and even like when it calls back to itself, like, "Come with me if you want to live," but like in a way that isn't like what we get now, where it's super cheesy and obvious. They've done in its franchise, its own franchise. It's like there's so many hell yeah moments. Like, I mean, I just don't. The finale of this movie, I just think is probably the greatest finale of an action movie, like one of the greatest finales of an action movie ever.
The helicopter flying low,
like that makes no sense. No one died. Like it makes no sense to me that like when I was a kid, I think I thought that like stunt people just died because like I watched films like this, for the art, like because I'm not watching this as a kid and being like, there's no fucking way that like I couldn't comprehend like what I was watching, like. I'm like speechless for this movie because it's so perfect to me.
It's so gnarly.
It's everything's been so said and it's so parodied and it's so ingrained in our culture, but yet it's almost like underrated at the same time. Sometimes, like I feel like people forget how fucking good this movie is.
Yeah.
And I don't.
I think
I
what
don't
people
know
forget
to say.
about it is it's still so fun as much as it is really is like
Yeah.
a horror. They're being chased by a horror villain.
Yeah.
It's still so fun. Like, oh, this door code won't work. Grabs grenade launcher. Let me try mine.
Yeah.
just blows the
Yeah.
fucking door away. The one-handed shotgun reload. Chasing down John Connor. The hero music when
The
he finally
whole
grabs
truck
him.
chase, the whole truck chase is just, and also just like the absolute relentless pursuit of the T-1000. The way he's running at them, he's everywhere. The fact that when he's on the phone to his parents, like he just feels absolutely unstoppable.
Your foster parents are dead.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So good.
I also, the callback of Hasta La Vista Baby. It's absolutely epic.
Incredible.
It shatters the T-1000. The T-1000. What I love about the finale is it's finale after finale after finale.
Yeah.
Like the truck chase could be the end. The hydrogen could be the end.
He won up to in the last one where like you feel that relentless pursuit. Like it's
Yeah,
like,
100%.
what they got to do to take this
100%.
man out?
The one-on-ones with the T-800 and T-1000
Yep.
are so awesome, and I love that the T-1000 outclassed him in every way to the point where he knocks off his arms, his legs. He is just done for.
The escape of the nut, the psych ward or whatever it's called, the mental hospital is and like when the T-1000 goes through the bars, like all that whole thing, and then Sarah Connor running down the thing to then bump into the Terminator that she saw in the
where
last
she
movie
skids on
that
the
killed
floor,
her whole family and her friends and everyone she knows.
Well, the scene where she dreams the nuke.
Oh,
James Cameron actually does phenomenal dream sequences where
Incredible.
they never feel superfluous.
No.
Like the chest burster in Aliens.
Yep.
Like,
The most realistic
perfect.
depiction of a nuclear bomb going off
Yeah.
ever. They actually show it
It's
to
so
scientists.
iconic the way she's in flames and the.
Insane. Like, it's incredible. And you know what? I was saying earlier, I was touring, you said, I could maybe put the first one, like, as the number one. And the only reason for that is literally because Terminator 2 is so perfect. It is so pristine that there's almost like if you want to see that someone has ever gone close to perfect in movies, it's Terminator 2.
Yeah.
It's almost it almost gets to the point where it's like, the thing that I like about the first Terminator is that it is a bit clunky. It is a bit charming. There is like not a mistake, but there's a rawness to it.
Yeah.
That like Terminator 1 is like there's an achievable quality to some degree, but Terminator 2 is like only a few people come in this lifetime that can make a movie to that degree. Do you know what I mean? Like there's something so
Absolutely
perfect.
baked to perfection.
Yeah. There's not a line. There's not a character. There's not a performance. There's not anything that I would change.
The steel mill
Yeah.
is the best looking work of James Cameron's career.
Yeah,
Like, just
yeah.
visually.
Yeah,
The
100%.
blue lighting
with the orange,
of the molten is it lava? Is it lava? You know what I mean? The sparks flying everywhere. That slow mo shot of the T-1000 just coming off, and all the sparks going everywhere. Like
Right now, you want to talk about earlier. You want to talk about movies that make me cry. Terminator 2, right? Now you could say I'm a hypocrite for saying they only fell in love in a day, and you could argue obviously. He's only found this father figure in a day. But for me, the difference is that like he is found something that he's always wanted and he's always had. But it's not even just that. It's also the fact that these robots and humans can come together. There's so much happening with that relationship, that love that when he sheds a tear. What's that line? That famous line?
I know now why you cry. But it's something I can
never do. Yeah.
But it's also because it's like. I love that monologue from Sarah Connor. It's like this Terminator would never get drunk and hit him or tell him he's too busy to spend time with him. The only reason he would ever leave him is because of love as well. Like the only reason he dies is because he has to fulfill that promise of squashing Skynet for him and Sarah.
Yeah.
And
like seeing a thumb go into like a thumbs up, right? This
it should be cheesy.
It should be stupidly cheesy, but it isn't. I don't even think it is. Like it feels so because the whole joke.
dad.
One, he's a dad, and
Yeah.
also the whole joke is a robot who's learning to communicate, and the way he's learned like things are alright is by putting his thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like it all makes sense. It's not
And
like
he's a dork.
yeah, exactly.
He's also
like
the most badass that anyone's ever badass.
yeah, exactly. Like if fucking Kevin Costner in Man of Steel instead of gone like that before he gets taken up by the thing goes like that would be stupidly cheesy, right? But
almost better. I don't know. I'm just saying that. I'm
Almost
like, if you did
better.
one- just go on. There's, you know, we should do a ranking of best cinematic thumbs ups.
yeah.
But yeah, Terminator 2. What more can we say?
Yeah, again, it's another one that I feel like I've been lost words with, but
Breathless
I feel
action.
like because it's like, what could I say that hasn't been said? And I know that I'll believe this podcast being like, should have said that, should have said that, but like, you know why you're here. You're here because you know we're gonna put Terminator 2 number one,
Yeah.
and we're gonna gush over it, or Aliens, or whatever. But
For me, it was always gonna be T2. It was
Same.
really more, where did I put Aliens and Terminator?
same,
And to a less degree, where did I put Titanic?
yeah.
And then everything else is kind of. I don't think he's ever made a bad movie, but
No, I agree.
these three movies, some of my favourite, most important movies to me of all time.
Yeah.
And then Titanic, I just think is an incredibly well made, incredible movie.
I agree.
But yeah, one thing I will leave us with, just in the sense of talking about things I don't really hear a lot with Terminator 2, I think the T-1000 mirrors that learning arc of Arnold in a really devious way, in that he is a robot and he has no emotions. But then by the end of the movie, what I think is really interesting, which doesn't get spoken about enough, is he kind of develops a personality. By the end of the movie, he's a bit more like,
He does, yeah.
I know this hurts you. Saying things that like he almost enjoys
Gets more
causing
vicious,
pain.
doesn't he? Yeah,
And then
yeah.
when he does things like
Yeah, he
and
plays
also,
with them, didn't he? Yeah.
crucially, when he dies, he seems to be in actual pain. Like he's
Yeah.
screaming and writhing around in the lava, which is
Yeah, he
something
does.
Arnold doesn't do. So I always think that's really interesting. In that, the longer these Terminators are kind of outside of the umbrella of Skynet and in the real world, the more they sort of learn and adapt. But it isn't always in a loving way.
Yeah.
The T-1000, if anything, I think becomes
Pretty
even
good
more
program
evil.
like that. That's probably what the bug they fixed with the T-800s
Yeah,
were, you know?
yeah. But it's like it's not even like in the parameters of his mission anymore. He's just evil for
Yeah.
evil's sake. But he also is learning to feel.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I always think that's an incredible detail.
It's so true. It's so true.
We've almost hit the 2-hour mark.
Fuck off, have we?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a long fucking...
But I think we've talked about some good.
Yeah, I think we had some good conversations as well. Yeah, it's hard because there's so many movies.
Yeah.
So you got to talk about
Yeah.
each one of them. But
You know what? Where I'll leave it.
go on.
Gordon Tracy, Michael J. Fox, John Tracy, Christian Slater,
Yes.
and that's our 5.
Yes.
Tracy
yes.
Boys.
Yes. That's
directed by
great.
James Cameron.
Yeah. Perfect.
Thunderbirds.
That's absolutely perfect.
If we could build a time displacement machine and go back, we could maybe.
We wouldn't stop a robot from just or AI from being created. We would tell James Cameron
yeah,
to make the Thunderbirds.
yeah.
movie.
There's loads of other things we could do, but I think that's top of the
Yeah,
list.
yeah. And I think probably the most important.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say
agree.
so. Think of the lives that could be saved. This has been the Full Fat Podcast. Please check out our shorts, our breakdowns. We'll be doing another ranking next month, and we've got tons of other rankings coming up across the year. If you're listening to the audio version of this, then you can go on over to the YouTube version to watch this with visuals. And if you're watching on YouTube but you want to kind of have this on the go, then go listen to it on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And we will see you next time.
Yeah. Tell us what your rankings are as well.
Oh yeah. Also, yeah. Tell us where you would disagree with us, where you would agree,
Yep.
and what your personal rankings would be. On that note, hasta la vista.
Baby.